Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How we doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest club in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dare say. Just waiting for Andy to log on from Aberdeen. Well, not from Aberdeen. Andy from Perth. I was all thinking he was from Aberdeen for 2 years. Can you imagine him at his bar having a little vodka and a little chuckle to himself? Old Andy. Bless him. So he'll be joining us shortly. Still no sign of Big John Fury. Hey, big fighting man. Where's Big John? He's gone missing. Here's Andy. Women love him, men want to be him. How you doing, Andy?
Not bad, pal, yourself.
I'm all right, lad.
All right.
Where you been?
Away up north. Place called Emble. Beautiful. Very thing.
I saw you on beaches in all swim gear and that, all rubbers and that.
Yeah. Wrapped up. Doing a bit of swimming in the sea. I bought myself an inflatable kayak about 2 years ago. And the last time we were up there, I took it with me, and the weather was horrendous. So
But it didn't
I think
look so good on that picture, did it?
if I went in the sea that time, I wouldn't have come back probably. But it was all right. It was just a bit dull, a bit overcast and showery now and again. But the last couple of days has been fine. We were swimming in the sea yesterday, and it was brilliant.
Some of them seas up there, Andy, they look rough, don't they?
They can be, but it was quite nice yesterday. It was quite invigorating swimming in the sea. It might be good for you, cold water therapy, so they say.
It's not for me, mate. No, I like I like a hot shower, me pal. I'm not
You'll
into
appreciate your hot. You'd appreciate your hot shower more after being in the sea.
yeah,
How
yeah,
you doing anyway? All right. Seems like
yeah,
ages.
yeah. Seems like ages since we spoke, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm plodding on. Uh,
Yeah.
straight in with boxing then. Johnny Fisher won.
That's that's because where I was up there, the signal's terrible, I mean, I think I said to you, I did a couple of try to do a couple just did a couple of videos on my phone for my own channel, and it took like half a day to upload them and everything. It was just I had to drive 12 miles to get to them upload. The signal's non-existent. But I did see the Johnny Fisher fight, but that's the only one I saw on that card. But I thought he would do him early, but not quite that early.
We can't. I
But
mean, I want to get behind him in that because he's a trier and that, but I still can't. They're doing £700,000 in ticket money.
oh man,
So they're not going to let him off at lead, are they?
no,
And
no, he's
beating Babbitt don't mean that they could put him in mix for Wardley and it's big freeze because they'd run over him at this moment in time, wouldn't they?
yeah, he needs a few more stepping stones. I don't want to go and ruin him like what happened with David Price against Tony Thompson or that. I want to just up his level, but carefully. I think that's probably the best way to go.
Do you see him winning a British, Andy?
I think not right at this moment in time. I think he might get as far as a British. I'd like to see him win a British, because he comes across as quite a nice guy, So I'd like to see him I'd like to see him get a British. Can he go any further than that? We'll have to wait and see. I think it's probably too early to tell, But he looked in good shape, didn't he? He's a big, strong guy, and he looks in decent shape. Maybe his boxing skills are not quite what they could be, but he's got quick hands. I noticed, and he's got a bit of power about him. So there's
Yeah.
been world champions with, might you say, similar skills to him in the past, isn't there? If you look back history books, but he's decent enough. But like you say, he's no at Wardley or Big Freeze's level. quite yet, I wouldn't say. I think he's a level below them at the moment. So,
He's a big old farm boy, isn't he?
nah, a big strong guy, I bet he is. He's a big strong, a big lump.
He's that kid, isn't he, when you're at school, when you're 13. After rugby practice, you're all getting in showers and he gets in, doesn't he, with hairy chest. And people are looking at him thinking, what's teacher getting in here for? One of them, innit? You know, he looked like that when he was 10.
Just a big wild man.
Big
But,
old hairy back job, innit? Farm boy. Elmer Fudd.
Elmer Fudd, eh? But no, I'll get behind him. I think he's a popular guy, and he's got a bit of following about money, and he's a bit of a character. So you've got to have characters in boxing. Eh? They can't all be humdrum.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, they've created a bit of a monster with him, haven't they, really? Because they're never going to want to put him near any danger, are they?
Aye, they're going to tread carefully. Yeah.
Not while he's propping shows up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't want to cook the golden goose. Eh?
No, they don't want to do that, mate. That's no good to them, is it? Dylan White's circling. He's back on scene. He's doing interviews and that. What do you reckon to that? Who's gonna hang their hat on him?
A brave man. He's coming back like a bad smell, and I mean, what's happened with that drug thing? It just seems to have faded away, but there doesn't seem to be any proper analysis of what had happened there, is there? No, that I've heard anyway.
Yeah, it's he'll just disappear. His lawyers are like superhuman lawyers, aren't they?
Looking for loopholes and whatnot. It's quite always question marks over things like that, and the air needs to be cleared. It's like a big thunderstorm. It's never erupting. It's always there, and it's just you need a thunderstorm to clear the air at times. And for me, the air's not been cleared, so I don't think he's going to do much anyway. That last fight I seen him with, he looked awful. I thought, and I think he not pay for that fight himself. Paid the opponent.
What shocking, didn't he? Fat as a pig, Michelin man.
Yeah, it was terrible, wasn't it? But,
Yeah, absolutely pony.
oh, what's happened there? Wait a minute.
Yeah, absolute pony. Is he, mate?
He's still there. Nothing. Screen's cut off. What's happened there?
Well, I can still hear you.
I can still hear you, but I don't know what's happening on my screen. This bloody computer's doing something funny. I'm not shut that down. It's not wanting to. It's on to restart my computer. I'm not doing that. A minute. Where are we? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, mate.
Oh, there you are. It's always worrying when something like that happens. You know? Someone pings up.
Don't you worry yourself. What do you think to Joyce and Chisora?
I think that's bad for Chisora. It's going to be a systematic beating for Chisora unless he can pull a miracle right hand out of somewhere. You know, just don't see it though. I don't see him pulling anything out of hat, pulling a rabbit out of hat, because that's what he's going to have to do to beat Joyce. I think Joyce is not quite what he was, but he's still got enough to deal with Chisora. And when you looked at Chisora fighting, was it Gerald Washington, his last fight? It's like his feet were stuck in the mud, weren't they? It was awful, eh? So although Big Joe Joyce is quite slow, his footwork's decent, isn't it? So I always thought anyway. It's kind of deceivingly decent. So I think he's not gonna have too much trouble finding Chisora, isn't he? So
Combined age 80.
Oh no, see back in the day. I mean, you look back to the 70s now. All the guys were mid-20s, late 20s, weren't they? All the guys at the top of the game. But at the moment, it seems to be they're all mid-30s to late 30s, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're like 10 years older than
before
they
they're
should
letting
be.
him off at Leeds. Yeah,
Yeah. He was late to the party though initially, wasn't he? What was he, 32 when he turned pro or something?
oh,
Big Joe Joyce.
No, I think you were about 31 or something like that.
30, yeah. But I mean, that fight should have happened probably about 6, 7 years ago, I think.
Well, I mean, personally, I think Joyce and Chisora are shot to bits.
Yeah. But I think Chisora's more shot, so I would favour Joyce to, but it could be a horrible beating, you know. Can Joyce is not he's probably a very heavy-handed thudding puncher, but he's not like a one-punch knockout artist, is he? So that means it could go on and on and on. Chisora just managing to stay in the fight and could be a bit like the beating he got for Fury in some respects, but you didn't want to see. So I hope there's a good referee there because you didn't want a guy taking a too big a beating. You know, I mean, there's nothing you or I can do to stop him fighting, is there? We can speak about it, but if he's passing medicals and the board's sanctioning him and he wants to do it, it's one of these situations, isn't it? We can see what's happening, but in some respects we're helpless, aren't we, to do anything about it?
Derek's a walking disaster. He's an advertisement for what he shouldn't be doing at this stage of your career.
And in some respects, he's his own worst enemy, isn't he?
Yeah, because they were chasing a pound out all the time.
That's it, and it's. I just hope he's getting well paid. And if kind of Joyce knocks him into reality that it's time to call it a day, you know. But I don't know how many beatings it would take for him to call it a day because he's had beating after beating and still wanting to go on, and it's like, Jesus, what's it going to take?
I know we were finished 10 years ago.
Yeah, too tough for his own good, eh? That's the problem, eh?
Yeah. Yui's had a couple of comeback fights.
Is he out again soon, or was he due to be out and get cancelled or something?
Should have been out last week, but opponent pulled out or something. So there was some there was some nonsense, so he didn't get out. But do you think Tyson's going to fight Usyk?
Nah, at the moment I'm thinking no. I'm thinking there's going to be some faffing about and he's going to end up fighting Big Meech or something like that. I can see that happen. I can see something along the lines. I hope he does fight Usyk again, but there's two ways I kind of look at it. There's that much money on the table for it. Is he going to walk away for that, or he knows he can't beat Usyk maybe in his own head, and he doesn't want to go through that again. He wants to spare himself the humiliation of getting beaten again. He thinks he maybe thinks he's got a better chance against somebody like Big Meech. But I think Big Meech is going to get beat by Dubois. That's my feeling on that.
Do you think Dubois? Go on, sorry.
I think Dubois is just a bit too fresh for him. He seems to be coming into his own now. His confidence seems to be there, which he's starting to. He was never said much at press conferences before that, but he's got a bit more confidence about him and a bit more swagger about him. So I don't think Dubois is actually scared of anybody. He's got that kind of that air about him, doesn't he? Nothing Big Meech says is going to bother him. So, and I think Big Meech feels like he needs that kind of edge over people, doesn't he, when he's challenging them or getting geared up for a fight with somebody. But I think Dubois is going to do him mid rounds, maybe. Yeah.
You think?
That's just the feeling I've got. Hey, I've got to go with my instinct. I mean, it could be who lands first. It could be one of their ones, but I'm leaning towards Dubois. I'm not gonna. It ain't gonna be no fence sitter.
What do you think to Big Meech going into roadman killer mode at that face off?
He obviously got rattled there. He thinks Dubois, but I think Dubois is going the right way about things, isn't it? He's not backing. He's not stepping back, is he?
Big Meech wanted to tip chairs up and that.
Was he going to hit him with the chair or the table or something? Was he?
He would have thrown charity, wasn't he? Hey,
handbags at high noon.
So you think Dubois will do him then, Andy?
Yeah, I think so. I've got that feeling about it. I mean, a lot of folk. I thought Dubois would beat Hrgovic, but he was deemed as being the underdog against Karlovic, wasn't he? So, nah, I think that fight will give him even more confidence. The opposition he's had in his last 3 fights, even though Usyk beat him, he would have learnt a lot from that fight. His opposition's been way better than Big Meech's opposition's been the last 3 fights.
Yeah, the bar's stepped up, hasn't he?
Mm. And he's at a good age, isn't he? He's just, what is he, 26 or something like that? So he's fresh, isn't he? So
yeah, he'll have learnt a lot from Usyk defeat.
and he's probably taken a bit of confidence for that because he probably believes in his head that was a legitimate blow, even though I think it was a low blow. And it was deemed a low blow. He probably thinks that was legitimate, and that's probably given him a bit of confidence in his head, even though he got beat, you know.
Do you think Fury's got a chance against Usyk, or do you think he'll just turn up for a payday?
I think he's got less chance than he had in the first fight. Personally, I think, and I've, as I said before, I'm no bias against who wins. It didn't bother me who won, but you've got to admire Usyk just because his sheer skill level and boxing ability is something else, and his fitness and whatnot. And I thought he'd given himself the best chance to beat Usyk with the call offs and the delays and that. So I gave him more time to get in better condition, but still wasn't good enough. I just think there's no way he can keep up with Usyk stamina and ability. Anyway, I mean, he did have success in the middle rounds, but he couldn't sustain any success. And Usyk, even though he's a couple of bad rounds, he always seems to come back stronger. And he's got something inside him that you can't buy or train, whatever it is. It's just got an inner metal about him, isn't he? So and Usyk might stop him. And I mean, personally, I thought for Fury's own safety, or he should have been stopped in that 9th round. I mean, I think what I'm saying is kind of cemented by the fact he's wishing everybody a happy new year at the end, which to me is a bit alarming, you know. I wasn't wanting him stopped because I was wanting Usyk to win. I was wanting him stopped for the sake of his own health. He wasn't throwing back. He wasn't defending himself. He was completely out on his feet. So you'll probably agree there's been many fights stopped for way less than that.
Yeah, Fury took a bit of a shellacking, didn't he?
Oh, I took a pummeling in that. And leading up to that, I mean, he got caught in the nose big time in the 8th round. Was it splattered his nose in the 8th round, and that kind of threw him all off there. That seemed to be the start of the set the ball rolling, didn't it? I mean, but early in the fight, he was getting hit with big shots as well, wasn't he?
I gave Fury 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
You know, but I couldn't make a case of Fury winning it. I don't know what that judge were on.
No. On a brown envelope, I think.
Oh my God, shocking, wasn't it, that?
But then the same happened when he fought Joshua the second time, wasn't it? I'm sure that night they're going to try and do him on the cards here, and it looked like that's what was going to happen. There's no way that fight was ever a split decision, but that decision leaves Eddie Hills with a narrative. Oh, it was a closer fight this time, and all that nonsense. So it's complete rubbish.
Yeah, well, Bricktop's got it with Fury, anyway. It was a split decision.
It's the same thing, isn't it? It's just the same scenario over again.
Well, look who he's done Usyk from Britain. Bellew, Chisora, Joshua twice, Fury, Daniel Dubois. Do you know what I mean? He's dealt with all them from Britain, hasn't he?
All on the road as well. He's never fought at home. Well, maybe can he fight at home, but
yeah,
he's not scared to go anywhere and do anybody, is he? He's a
where
proper warrior.
Where do you think he sits now, Usyk, with heavyweights? You know, for the last 30 years, is he up there?
He's got to be in the top 5, isn't
he? Yeah.
Past 30 years, I mean, who are you? What we're talking about there? We're talking about from the 90s. So
Lennox Lewis,
Holyfield,
Bo, Mike Tyson,
Mike Tyson. I would put him above Mike Tyson.
Will you?
I think so. I think he's not had as many fights, but he's done a lot more in less fights, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you compared the amateur pedigree as well, can't be many people who will go near his amateur career. You know, it's incredible, isn't it? Over 300 fights.
Yeah.
Hardly any losses, eh?
Yeah, what do you think to Lawrence Okolie for Dylan White?
That'd be a good fight for Lawrence Okolie. Yeah, I see him doing a number on Dillian White.
Can you?
Maybe I think he'd maybe do him in 7 or 8 rounds.
Well, we'll see, won't we? It's a good fight,
Uh,
isn't it, that?
it's a good fight 'cause I think White's he's more or less done now. I think.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
So that'd be a good move up to heavyweight fight for Lawrence Okolie because he looked really impressive, even though it was only a 1 round fight. His last fight, I thought his backhand was way quicker because I always said that his backhand was way like against is it Willem Smith he fought before, and his backhand was way too slow, and maybe he was struggling at the weight there. We don't know. I suppose could have been struggling to make cruiserweight, but certainly looked a much livelier fighter when that last fight against Rosansky.
Yeah, yeah, he's done well, Lawrence. He's two-weight world champion now.
Mm. Could be a three, yeah, if he keeps
Yeah,
going. If he,
yeah, he's another belt for Joe G's gym.
yeah,
Piling him up, Joe G, any belts.
hey, got a bigger trophy cabinet.
He'll need to get a bigger trophy cabinet or get a safe.
I say,
All belts he's got. All that they've won. Yeah.
yeah.
The bar though, for me, do you think he's still got quit in him?
Um, I'd like to think he's grown out of that, but there's always a doubt there if somebody's quit at some point in their career that they might do it again if the going gets tough. But I mean, Vitaly Klitschko got branded with that label when he fought Chris Bird, didn't he? Was it a torn rotator cuff or something like that?
Yeah.
He got branded with that, but then he showed his mettle. I mean, when he fought Lennox Lewis, he took some punishment there and was still standing at the end when it was the cuts that stopped him. But, so he can keep proving. You might find something similar with Dubois. He's maybe come through that. He is quite young when these things happen, doesn't he? So he might come, but he might grow from that. You know, it might stand him well in time. The fact he's been through all that adversity and he doesn't want to go through it again, or he's probably nobody likes to be called a quitter, surely. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd like to think that's moved behind them now. We'll wait and see.
Yeah. Do you think it could really do Joshua then?
I think so. Yeah, I think maybe the timing's right. I was just thinking both Joshua and Fury are going to lose their next fight.
Where's Joshua
That's
if he loses to Dubois?
well, if he loses to Dubois and then Fury fights Usyk and gets beat, they can maybe both the losers fight. There'll still be a fight people buy into, but it's obviously not going to be the bigger fight as it was before. That might be the only way to go for the two of them, and then call it a day after that.
Well, they've both been beat, haven't they?
Yeah,
And they're still not. We're still not. I've got the fight we've been craving for years and years. It just seems to be dragging on and on, doesn't it?
they're both damaged goods, really, aren't they, at the end of the day.
Well, they're saying now next summer, aren't they, for him?
But they're probably trumping up like Fury's going to beat Usyk, and Usyk's up against it, because I get the impression Turkey Al Sheikhs wants Fury to win for some reason. I just get that feeling. So Usyk's up again. Usyk, he can. I think you said before he's been against the establishment's been against him, and it, like judges, refs, everybody's been against him, and he's still come through, hasn't he? He's still managed to find a way to beat it all, beat the system.
06 style is impregnable, isn't it?
It's just, and if he has like any adversity, he just seems to sort of he can stay out of danger and then he can reset himself and then goes again, doesn't he? Finds a way. He always finds a way. So that's the mark of a true champion, isn't it?
Even when he's struggling and he's taking big shots, he always finds a way, doesn't he?
Mm. And he's always at a disadvantage size wise, all the guys he's been fighting. Which helps him speed wise, probably.
Yeah, he's a proper warrior, and isn't he?
Oh, aye. He's my number one pound for pound at the moment.
Yeah, he's mine. He's mine, Usyk. He's mine.
I've read somewhere that he said, and I don't know if this is right or not, that he said he's going to go after he beats Fury again. He's going to go back down to cruiserweight, unify a division there, and then come back up to heavyweight and reunify it again. I don't know if that seems a bit mad, eh? But
I can't see that.
I'd like to see him get out with plenty of money in his pocket and faculties intact.
Well, he's a lunatic anyway. Have you seen him? He's in interviews and that. He's not all there, is he?
Even Chisora said he's mad, eh? He said he's crazy. He says he's way crazier than Fury, I think Chisora said, didn't
Yeah, Cesaro only said that because he got peppered by him, didn't
he?
he? He did. Have you noticed when they get peppered by him, they always big him up like Bellews, always like a cheerleader, isn't he? Or Usyk. Have you noticed?
He's like the secretary of his fan club now, isn't he? After
after Joshua.
That's
it. What about Martin McCauley then, Jared Anderson?
I think McCauley will beat him. That's my feeling. I think McCauley's just got a bit too much in his locker for Jared Anderson at the moment.
I think that. Well, that if Billy Nelson's fighter McCauley wins, we'll never be able to shut Billy up. He'll be all over social media, won't he, little Billy?
Be bigging him up. Aye, good on him. I like Billy Nelson. He's always he stands by his guy, doesn't he?
Atman Strikes Back was sticking it to Billy Nelson for falling for the Fury mythology.
Was he?
Everybody needs to go watch that. That's a funny video, that. Well, the Fury mythology. Do you know all these cheerleaders that were part of this? That were part. Have you seen it? That were part of this, part of the cult. Oh, it's a classic one. That. Go on, what?
Is that what you were saying about? Had some WhatsApp group or something?
Oh no, that were Fury Power WhatsApp group. That was a few years ago. That was Sting and a few others. No, this is Atman Strikes Back on YouTube. He's done a video. It's called something about the Fury mythology or something. And Tyson Fury and his old man tricked everybody for years and that, and then they were pointing out people who were part of the cult.
Billy Nelson's one of
the cheerleaders and that.
Exposing them all.
Oh, I thought it was dead funny. I don't know what it is like, but Atman's got it in for Tyson. He seems to stick it to him.
Aye. Oh well.
Hey.
Who is Hatman? You never see his face, do you? He's
no,
like a mystery figure.
Some doorman, isn't he, or something? I don't know. He was some ex-doorman or something, or some ex-fighter. I don't know. His channel's pretty good. I'll try and watch it when I can.
Does he know? Mickey Theo maybe knows him then if he's been a doorman.
I don't know. I don't know if Mick knows him. Mick might do. Mick gets about.
Aye.
So
I'll have to look that one up. Aye.
Yeah, Max fought, didn't he? £308. He had a win.
Aye, has he fought again? Was that his third?
I think he fights in a few weeks on a Dennis show.
Ah, right. Yeah, I think he sent me a picture or a video or something. He knocked a guy doing my jab to the midsection, I think.
Well, he should do, shouldn't he? 22 stone.
Aye. He's needing to shed about 4 stone now.
Then he says, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not going to put him in out there until he's 18 stone. He's going to do it properly. I'm going to show him a few moves. You know, like I showed Clinton. I'll get his mindset right, like I told Jamie McDonnell." Start talking like that, doesn't he? Big Ron.
I like to see McCauley get his weight down a bit as well. He was quite heavy the last time he fought, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 20 odds, Tom, wasn't he?
Didn't he seem to hamper him speed-wise or energy-wise, but he just needs to, I think he'd be a bit better if he was maybe about 18.5 or something about there, eh?
He's been sparring Adrian King today,
Has he?
Curtis Woodhouse is heavyweight, yeah.
Yeah.
He's sparring him today. Martin McCauley. Yeah, that'll be good sparring, that, because they all rate him, don't they, McCauley?
Yeah. I think he's a good fighter, yeah. He's just not had the opportunities, has he? He's maybe deemed as being a bogeyman that folk didn't want to go near him, eh?
Well, he's like the Louis Ortiz division, from about 5 years ago. Well,
Yeah.
nobody mentioned Louis Ortiz's name, they like whisper it. Like when Aaron Pryor were knocking everybody out, nobody wants to mention his name, did they? When Pryor were icing people,
Aye.
putting them on
Yeah,
bottom.
you don't hear anybody calling out Martin McCauley anyway, that's for sure, eh?
No,
Dillian White ran away from him, didn't he? He was away up the stairs. He wouldn't come down.
Dylan White.
And Martin McCauley would run right over him, like.
That'd be a good fight, that Dylan White, Martin McCauley.
Would be, eh?
I think so, do you?
Yeah. White's looking for a fight, eh? So what if he gets offered that? I bet he doesn't take it.
Yeah.
Fair play. If he did take it, fair play to him, because that's a tough shout, that one.
Yeah. What about Ace Big Freeze and Wardley? Do you think they should get it on? Rematch?
Yeah, I think it's time they should have a rematch, yeah. It's been a wee while, isn't it, since the last fight? I'm guessing they should have recovered by now. That was a tough fight, wasn't it? But it was a good fight. It's probably one of the best British heavyweight title fights I've seen in a long time.
How do you think Johnny Bosch should go on against Ace Big Freeze or Wardley?
Yeah, he's not quite ready for it yet. Well, we say that, eh? But you don't know, eh? You don't know. He might have enough power to hurt them both, eh? You just don't know. Until he, it's a gamble though, isn't it? I think it's a gamble at the moment that they're probably not prepared to take. But he's got to move up at some point, doesn't he? So whether it be now or further down the road, who knows? But maybe if he had another couple of fights first and then step up to that level, I think.
Yeah. I had Ace Big Freeze beating Wardley in the first one. Terry had it to Wardley. Or did you have it?
It was a draw, wasn't it? I thought you could.
Go on, sorry.
I thought you could make a case for Big Freeze winning it, but you couldn't make a case for Wardley winning it. I think a draw was.
It was a draw. It was a draw. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a draw was the best Wardley could have hoped for out of that fight. I think Big Freeze probably just won it, but a draw wasn't a disaster. It wasn't a bad result, and the fact I had a draw on at the bookies, I was quite happy with. So.
Well, did you clean up, Andy?
I was only about. I think I only won about 30 quid or something, but it was a win all the same.
Yeah.
A win's a
little victories. Life's about little victories, Andrew.
I think it was like 16-1 odds or something for the draw, or something like that. I put a couple of quid on it. So, aye.
Good man. Good man. I can see Big Freeze winning a British and the European.
Yeah. I think he'll win the rematch whenever the rematch is. If they have a rematch, I can see him. I'd favour him in it, definitely.
He's big enough, isn't he?
He is, aye. He's a big lump. Was he 6'6" or something?
6'6", 20 Clemmer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
I think if he came in about, what was he? I think was he 19 odds, 19 and a bit stone the last time. If he came in a stone lighter, I think that would probably suit him better.
You can imagine the size of omelets he has in the morning. Hey.
10 egg omelets.
Hey. Half a chopped pig in them with a few tomatoes and that and mushrooms. Dozen eggs.
I remember seeing a video years ago of Evander Holyfield eating this. It's just like a big massive fry up. I can't remember how many eggs was in it. It was obviously, but he had to build himself up, didn't he? And weight. He was quite light.
Yeah, I remember Holyfield when he were beefing up, when he were moving into heavyweights, he was eating omelets and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's Yeah, it's on the knife edge heavyweight division at the moment, isn't it? I just want it to get moving a bit quicker.
It's stagnating a wee bit, innit? Just want things to happen a bit quicker, but
What do you think to the IBF belt then being for Joshua and Dubois? Do you think it really, are we really counting it?
it's not. We know who the real champion is. I think it should only be one champion, but all these rematches and all this, it just stagnates the whole thing. Yeah, so there probably shouldn't have been a rematch for Fury and Usyk. Usyk's won, so Fury would need to get back in line. Usyk should have defended probably against who was it? Hrgovic was mandatory, wasn't he? So he should have probably been defending against him maybe in the next couple of months, and then Fury would need to get back in line to do it the proper way. But it's not the way it works, is it? Money talks and titles get fragmented. But I'm just glad we got one unified champion. If that had been a draw in it, that would have been it. There wouldn't have been a unified champion and whatnot. And undisputed, sorry. But we know who the man is. But
Are you going
there's
to
no way.
stop and got an undisputed out of this era?
I'm happy we got an undisputed. Yeah.
From this era?
We know Usyk's the best this year, isn't he? I think that's and beating Fury in a rematch is only going to cement that.
Yeah.
But he is getting on a bit.
Joshua, he?
Yeah, he's beat Joshua. So it's no point. I didn't want to see him fight Joshua again. That's just how many times has he got a shot at fighting him? You know, he's but he's 38, isn't he? He can't go on forever. Some young guy will come up at some point and beat him, But eventually, if he goes on too long. But fair play to him, he took on Dubois, who's 12 years younger than him, and he beat him all right. So it shows he's still got it at that top level. And I mean, who else is a sort of Dubois' age? It's really any better really than Dubois. We're talking maybe Jared Anderson. That Frank Sanchez got beat, didn't he? He got beat by Caballel, so he's kind of been ruled out the picture these days because he was being deemed as being a good prospect, wasn't he? So
Caballel's in mix, isn't he?
oh, aye. He's a dark horse in the race, isn't he? He's had a few good wins, kind of flying under the radar lately. So maybe he's a guy that could get Usyk a good fight.
Yeah, Caballel, he's always there or thereabouts, isn't he?
You've got Parker as well floating about. Is he going to? Caballel will be a good fight for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's all warming up. Dylan White and them don't call Caballel that, do they?
No. Chisora fought him a few years back, didn't he?
Chisora got schooled by him in Monaco.
That's it. I'd like to see Parker fight Caballel. I think that'd be a good fight because he's not really got a fight at the moment, has he?
No.
He was supposed to have. I think he was supposed to have a rematch with Zhang, wasn't he? But that kind of all went quiet.
Yeah. Do you want to go on to part 2, Andy?
Yeah, get you over there. Good man.
For those of you that are interested in our sister channel, it's called Porky's International, YouTube. Feel free to check it out and like and subscribe and leave a comment. There's about 15 videos on there. Right then, okie dokie, on to part 2. Booyaka.